Okay. Wow, so today's chat. Welcome everybody to Tunacheki's Africa is Watching podcast. Thank you again for joining us on this Friday. And today is a very big day for us. And let me just make sure people are joining. Okay. I hope you can hear me. Today is a very big day because we have a world famous professional basketball star who played for the Nigeria national team, the Nigerian all-star team, who played for the world famous Harlem Globetrotters. And today is going to talk to us, to Tunacheki, and tell the people what he's been working behind the scene, working for, how he wants to give back the same opportunity he had to be a professional basketball player, to give back this opportunity to African youths, and what he's actually doing to give back. Okay, so before we introduce our guest, please make sure to share the stream to other people so that they can join in. And also, please make sure to like and subscribe to Tunacheki, and tell people about the Africa is Watching podcast. Okay, so without further ado, let us welcome Kingsley.
Great to be here with you.
Okay, so thank you for joining us. This is a great honor. It's very special when you have an international star, a professional star, somebody who's represented their country at the highest possible level. So maybe you can just start with telling people a bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, my name is Kingsley Ogwudire, and I'm a former professional basketball player. As he mentioned, I played for Nigeria. I was former captain of the Nigerian national team as well. I was very lucky to be able to represent my country at the highest level. And also having an opportunity to play with the Harlem Globetrotters was just a fantastic experience. You get to work with a lot of kids, and I just love, anytime you can put a smile on somebody's face, it's a beautiful thing. So I just love it. I've been very lucky all my life.
Wow. So maybe you can just tell us, how does somebody become a professional basketballer coming from a village in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's not an easy task, and but one of the great things about it is that with Africans, we have determination, and hard work in us. So any time that you have those combination, the sky is your limit. So really, to become a professional basketball player, it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a little bit of luck. No matter how good you are, no matter how talented you are, you need a little bit of that luck. But the first thing is the hard work. That's actually ironic. One of the things that we're doing now, because it was so difficult for me to, get those opportunities. One of the things that I'm doing is trying to create opportunities where my counterparts, the people that are coming up behind me, it won't be so difficult. We'll make it a little bit easier for you. So hopefully some of the things that we'll present today, the platform, will be able to make that easier for you guys.
For most of you who don't know, I'm actually 6'2". I'm quite tall. I played basketball in high school, and the only reason I didn't go pro because our division, our league, we were always paired with them, like always the strongest team, the team that would go on to win the championship every year. So that's why our high school never got any form. But going to that, in Africa, it's not as easy as in America. All you have to do is play good in high school, be the best in college, and automatically you're just absorbed into that system. So so maybe you can just maybe give us a hint of maybe how, as an African, things can be easier, like maybe to be like as compared to the United States.
Yeah, and I don't want to give the wrong impression. It's not easy in the United States to just make it to the NBA or to play professionally either. It also involves a lot of hard work as well. But yes, the road is paved much cleaner here for you to get there. In Africa, you have to work harder. To be quite honestly, you got to pray to get noticed. One of the great things about it is that the reason that I created my platform is we just had a Nigerian kid, James Naji, that was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, in this year's NBA draft. The amazing thing about it is the kid he created a Facebook profile, and actually his mother created the Facebook profile for him, featuring his highlights, and subsequently that got shown, where it picked up interest. The kid just got drafted. So that's what I mean is that the platforms that we're creating now will make it a little bit easier. Now you can upload your information, you can share your videos, you can connect directly with schools that are offering scholarships, professional teams that will be coming on to look at more talent. So in Africa, there are a lot more obstacles because we don't have the tournaments, put together like they do in the States. Here in the States, you have AAU basketball. Literally, you can go and watch some of the top, high school and up and coming kids, all different levels, different states, all of that stuff.
And sometimes I feel like even the media in the US gives the college basketball players and teams even more attention than the actual NBA. So you guys have that, right? So right now in Africa, things are better than when you are trying to get into the scene. These days we have NBA Africa. It's called BAL, right? Basketball Africa. We have scouts scouring through DR Congo, since the people have discovered that's where all the best basketballers come from in Africa, and we have interest from like presidents of countries like Paul Kagame, who are actually investing in sports and saying, hey, this sport is something important for the future of Africa and for the youth of Africa. So how is all those like those new developments impacted you and to the goal of your portal?
Yeah, the Basketball African League is fantastic. In fact, it's one of the things that I fully supported, and we've needed something like that for a very long time. And it gives it's a great platform for up and coming players that want to get noticed. So now we have something where you can go and show your skills and be able to play and actually make a pretty decent living. Okay, so those opportunities are great, and I'm very, very happy that Basketball Africa League is there, and it actually helps what we're doing because now we can connect people directly to those teams. Some of the people that are helping with our portal in terms of helping with training, helping with guidance, because that's very, very important to guide these young players so they don't make the same mistakes that we made, or at least that they can be ahead of the game. So some of those guys are also involved with the Basketball Africa League, or they've been involved. So they know what's going on. So we're using people that are experienced. They know the landscape. So they'll be able to give you good information.
Okay, so you've mentioned the Worldwide Players Portal. So maybe just give a brief introduction of the portal, and also maybe go back a bit and just say you are there in the United States. You've had this good career. Like I'm sure you've got other businesses that are doing good. What will compel you to get out of your comfort zone and do something different and try to help other people who don't even know you?
Well, when I retired from basketball, I'm a business major in school. So being African, we don't just, play sports. School is the number one thing for us. Okay. So there's no guarantee in sports. So I majored in business. My direct, my main goal has always been business, to do as much as I can. I've been in the banking industry. I've been a mortgage executive with the banking industry, for the last 19 years, since, I stopped playing basketball. But 2 years ago, the Nigerian national team, both men and women, were going to the Olympics. It was the first time any such thing has been done. Both men and women representing a country in basketball. So I was very, very proud and moved. And needless to say, that's my former team that I was a member of. So I started a podcast called Real Talk with Kingsley. And Real Talk with Kingsley, it's still actually an ongoing podcast now. And I basically started providing information not only about Nigeria, but African basketball. What I found was there was a huge, huge interest. I love Africa. Like when I talk about Africa, I get goosebumps, right? Because like I get passionate, and it just takes over my soul. So from the podcast, it was like I just reborn. From there, people contact me. I have basketball players contacting me. Obviously, the ones that know my history, they want to know if I can help them. So many, 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 many young men have reached out to me, and because of it, some of them need scholarships. Some of them need. I try to help as many as I can. And at the same time, I was being contacted by universities, high schools, colleges, looking for players. Can I bring them the next Giannis, or the next Bam Adebayo, or the next African star that they are looking for? So I created a portal because of that, because of the need, because it was just too many people. They needed the assistance. They were contacting me. So I left my cushion, mortgage banking industry job, so I can do this, because I truly, truly have the passion for it. And there's nothing like it. And once you help one person, if you never done, any type of assistance for anyone before, you should try it. When you help someone and you truly help someone and they appreciate it, the joy that you get out of it, it's almost better than they get out of it. So that's my passion. I love Africa, and I hate it when people say negative things about Africa and they don't know the true facts of it. So, if I can shed light on any form, man, that's what I'm here to do.
So you decided to, instead of doing things manually, like you writing many emails, you physically going to search for people, you decided to come up with this platform that does it in a more efficient way, right?
Yes. Being, we want to work smarter, not harder. When I was coming up, I sent, probably 70 FedEx packages to different teams all over the world trying to get noticed, right? And luckily, my uncle owned the company that I was sending the thing from. But when he got the bill, he wasn't very happy. He was very upset. And you need to stop this right now. So what do you do today? How do you get recognized? Well, social media has given us an opportunity where now we can basically create a platform like I did, and to help all these other young people. So they don't have to send emails. They don't have to, run up their uncle's bills, trying to get, someone to just give them an opportunity. So that's what we did. We created a platform. Hopefully, that would that will just motivate more and more people, to just to take a look. Create your create your profile, upload a highlight, give some information about yourself. If nothing else, maybe you'll get a scholarship, right? But if you don't try, you won't succeed.
So let's quickly just go through the website so people can have an idea of what you're talking about. So here you can just take us through as we go through. So this is the introduction page, right?
Yes.
So let's play the trailer. We see you. Okay, that's the trailer. So we get started here, right? As the
Yes,
website.
yes. This is it just gives you a quick introduction. Like it says, connecting and unblocking boundless opportunities for international talents, right?
Okay.
What we do is that we just basically want to create an opportunity for someone to get noticed. So if you upload your video similar to what you just saw, it could be a 30-second clip, it could be a 2-minute clip, it could be a whole game tape, right? But you create your profile. Now you have your page where you can upload information, you can upload pictures, you can upload awards, things that you've been recognized for. But this is just a starting point. And if you click get started now, it gives you options. In terms of if you're an athlete, if you're an athlete looking to to find or to be discovered, right? Or if you're a school looking for more players, and or if you're an agent or even a trainer, this basically gives you options. One, you fill out a form. Basically, we'll collect some information about yourself, your name, that the general information, right? And then it gives you, once you finish with the form, it gives you access to everything that we have. We have information for scholarships, visas. If you want to get a visa, to go to school, right? You need to go through the proper paperwork. We have everything in there for you. Even if it even takes you to the United States immigration, website, with the actual forms that you need, whether you need a visa for I-20, whatever it is, or if you just want to come and go to school, it gives you a lot of information. That way, you can actually have everything that you need there.
And let's say you are friends with a talented kid, like you said, it's the mom who even opened the Facebook page for this guy who got discovered. So if you know somebody, can you just put them on the portal on their behalf, or you need permission?
Yeah, if you create something, it asks for an email, right? Because they want to make sure that you're the real person. So you can create something on someone's behalf, but you will also receive their notification unless you put their email. Unless you put their email there, then they will receive the notification themselves. But if you're creating it, whatever email that you put down, or whatever contact information that you put down is where you will be reached. So if you're creating it for someone else, you want to make sure that you put their contact information if you want it to go directly to them. Or if you want to manage it, then you can have the information go to you.
Okay, so maybe we can now talk about now the nitty-gritties of somebody from the portal, they get discovered. Most people don't know how hard it is, let's say you're African, to get a visa, especially if you're coming from Nigeria, right? Like a good example, we have this runner currently, I think he's the fastest 100-meter runner coming from Kenya, right, in the world. It's called Omalaya, right? And he almost missed his track meeting because I think it was a European country refused to give him visa on time. He just had like one day, and for an athlete, you just don't fly in and run. You need training, you need prep time, you need rest, right? And you've, like, I think eventually won still. So how are you tackling that issue? Because this immigration thing will always exist, no matter what, right? If nothing changes.
Yeah, that's definitely the difficult thing. Being African, when we apply for visas to, some of these different countries, we don't get the same respect. They don't treat us accordingly. And that needs to change, by the way. But right now, in order to navigate the system, what we do is that we, basically assist you with that. We have, international former players that have gone through this. We have guys now, a very good gentleman is Kelechi Anuna. He's a former basketball player. He works with our organization. He's actively, placing kids now. In fact, I recently just saw, the approvals that he's received. So you have to apply to the, we go through the proper paperwork. So we do everything by the book. We want to make sure that you get your right visas, you get an appointment to the, to the immigration office, so they can, give you the proper credentials. Okay, so we basically guide you through the whole process. We have people that they have been through it. That is their job, as essentially as a scout and as a talent manager to be able to get you to the next step. We don't just abandon you after you create your profile.
Okay, and now, so maybe let's go through it. Michael from Kenya, I've created a profile, and how do you reach out to me? Like, let's say this hypothetical. So I have my profile. I've got really cool videos over there, and you see talent in me. I'm coming from East Africa in Kenya. So how's the first step? You reach out through me through email or through the portal?
Yeah, we'll definitely reach out through the email and the portal because we want to make sure that if you're engaged, in the portal, you're uploading and putting your information there. We definitely want to talk to you. And another thing that we want to do is we go through the portal and we identify, not just the best players, but players that need work as well. They need assistance. Some people may need a little bit better training, because not everyone is going to play professional basketball. So we don't want to give you that illusion that everyone is going to play professional basketball. But no, there are many, many, many things that you can do outside of that. First step is, let's get you a scholarship. Let's get you education, get you that necessary step, right? And then the next thing is, your talent level. But yes, once you create the profile, we have people that will reach out to you. They will figure out, we'll do an assessment, figure out where you are. And then, of course, what you're looking to do. If we want to work with people that want to work with us. So I want you to go, the first step is to create that profile. And then let's figure out what you want to do. What is your goal? What do you want to accomplish with this? And then we'll figure that out with you.
Okay. And you mentioned also schools can also create a profile. So how does that part work for schools and organizations?
Yes. In fact, I'm glad that you asked that question. One of the first, members that we had, one of the school members, is Gaffney Academic Athletics Preparatory Academy. Okay, they essentially, it's a school in Tennessee, here in the in Tennessee here in the United States, and they essentially offering scholarships, not only to men, women, for football, basketball. They have a variety of scholarships that they can make available. One of the things that we're doing now, we're coordinating an event where they will actually get a chance to see some people live. So we are putting together camping events where these schools will be able to come and watch, a small camping, for a few days, and be able to select players right from there as well.
Mm. And you've mentioned scholarships. Scholarships are very important. Education, universities in the United States are so expensive. And is it like part of the promise when you join the portal, or that one just depends on your talent, or just, as you said, sometimes you just need luck? How do you secure a sponsorship?
Yes, scholarships are just like playing professional, right? It's not for everyone, and it's based on your talent. The schools are on the portal looking for the best talent. Okay, just no one wants to say, okay, I'll take the last place guy. No, they want the best of the best. So that's the people that they want to offer scholarships to. The good news is that there's many, many, many scholarships. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of schools here in the States, and they all need players. Okay, so the opportunity is there, but not everyone is going to get a scholarship. But if you work hard and continue to train, yeah, the opportunity is there. All we can do is present the opportunity. It's not a guarantee.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. You do your best and hope for the best, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So maybe like the portal is new, right? When was it launched officially?
Yeah, we launched it, this month of June. However, the official launch is really August. What we're doing is we wanted to, test out the bugs and kind of, clean some things up and make sure that when the active users come on, then that we want to make sure we've kind of worked out all the kinks. So yes, we're live now where you can still create a profile. Yes, absolutely. You can log in, create a profile, and start uploading your information. And as of August 1st, we will be 100% operational in terms of we'll have camping events and things of that nature set up as well, because we want to be able to not only give you the opportunity on the platform, but because there's immediate scholarships available now for this school year, there are schools looking to offer players scholarship now.
No. And has the portal gotten you like a good pick? Because I'm sure, for me, I'm assuming it's like fishing. Right? I'm a very good fisherman, right? So has the portal so far got you a nice catch?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I've actually been contacted by several people, including some government officials here in California. So we're setting up meetings now. We quite possibly it might be meeting with the governor of California. We're that's in the works now. I'm actually working with a group, a group from Tanzania that is working on because like I said, I love Africa, so you will probably see a lot of stuff that I do that's African involved.
Yes.
But I'm working with a group of from Tanzania, where we're going to be taking a group of basketball players from here to Africa, and then we're going to bring a group from Africa to here. It's kind of like a cultural exchange. They
Yeah, yeah,
teach
definitely,
food,
definitely.
just kind of like give them a little bit of different lifestyle, right? And we'll compare, see how how everything compares, right? And it's a good fun thing to do for the community, and trying different foods, different culture, if we can continue doing things like this, before you know it, we'll break down some of these barriers, and we won't be strangers anymore, and some of these misconceptions will go away.
Definitely. And now for have you successfully gotten a sponsorship, or like you've recruited like a young player so far, or like what's the progress on recruitment?
Yes, we have a couple of sponsors that's come on now, and we're working on getting more sponsors. So if anyone is looking to sponsor us, please, by all means, you can reach out to us. They can even call me, call me on the phone, and we'll put my information up here for them to reach out if they need to. My email definitely is a great contact, to reach out to me. And it's basically it's K Ogwudire, my first initial and my last name, at gmail.com. right? It's very, very easy. I'll put that up here as well.
Yeah.
But yes, if they can reach out to me, we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people, motivated people. If you just have ideas, and sponsorship doesn't mean necessarily money. They can be other things that you can do.
Yeah.
We're looking to do camps in different countries in Africa. Maybe you can help us coordinate that. Maybe you can help us get the talent. So I don't want it to be all financially, because I believe that it takes a village to raise a child, right? That's one of our African proverbs. So if we all work together, we can pull the resources to be able to not only help these kids. I've developed through my playing days, I've developed enough contacts, right? Where I'm like so lucky, that I can pick up now and call a head coach in the NBA, and they'll listen to me. Okay. I can call a college coach. They call me now, so looking for players and things. So if we work together, I may be able to help you in some areas. You may be able to help us in some areas. So please, we're looking for all comers, whatever. And if it's financial, by all means, we, nothing works without money, right? So we need money as well. So if you can donate money, that's great. If you can donate your time, that's better. And of course, anything that you can do, we appreciate it.
Yeah, like you're right. Venue, equipment, especially with the basketball, that's quite important. And for you, like as a recruiter, are you particularly targeting some specific countries, some hotspots that are synonymous with the NBA? The DR Congos, the Nigerias, the Sudan. Like, are you focusing on those countries, or for now it's whoever comes, it's whoever gets in?
To be honest with you, we don't focus on any one particular place, just because talent is everywhere. Okay, and if you focus on one area, you'll miss other areas. So what we want to do is we want everyone to have an opportunity. Nigeria, of course, it's my home country, so naturally I'm going to have a heavy influence there. But this Africa is so diverse, and in fact, speaking of basketball, African basketball has gotten to the stage where when I played, and this is not a disrespect to Cote d'Ivoire or anything of that nature, we used to beat them by like 50, 60 points. Now they're like the top. So a lot has flipped. Mali, we used to beat Mali all the time, like just like nothing. Now they're one of the top teams. Okay. When I played, it was Angola, it was Egypt, it was Nigeria, it was Senegal, right? We were like, that was the four teams that we know that we can put it down. We're going to see you in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, in the finals, right? We'll put today. You don't know who you're going to see, because all those teams, they were small boys. Now they're mighty lions. So you don't want to, that's why I love Africa. Like, when you underestimate someone, they'll show you. So we don't want to underestimate anyone at all. So talent is everywhere. We're looking for, one, people that are motivated. Two, we're looking for people that want to be helped, because to be honest with you, it's not for everyone. But if you're motivated and if you want to do something, please, like, this is the best thing that you can do. There's nothing else to it. Just start with a profile and see where it leads.
And touching on that, do you also mentor these kids who are upcoming? Because for me, I know to be a professional athlete, they usually show us the glitz, the glamour, the fun part, but I'm sure you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused. So maybe can you advise young upcoming athletes on that? Because most people miss that. They think it's all fun and games, but they don't know the determination and the focus you need.
Yeah, if like the first thing that I always tell people, that make sure that you have a passion for it. Whatever you do, make sure that you have a passion for it. If you like basketball, when I say like is not enough. You need to love the game, right? And it doesn't mean that you won't play professional unless you love the game. The reason is because you will have obstacles, okay? You will always have obstacles placed in your way. The what you have to do, the difference between a professional and an amateur, forget about the money part, because amateur guys are getting paid now because of the NIL, and that's something that we actually helping people with too, all right? But the difference between an amateur and a professional is like the professional will do his job, right? It's his job. He will do his job, even with those obstacles. So when, whether it's, not having the right equipment, not having, the right gym or the right shoe or whatever it is, obstacles are going to come. It's how you treat those obstacles. I'm only 6 feet tall. Okay. When I started playing basketball, they told me, like, I didn't even know the rules. I wanted to play. And I was a soccer player coming from Africa, and I'm actually a better soccer player than basketball. I keep telling people that. They don't believe me. But when I started playing basketball, I'm only 6 feet tall. They were like, nah. Sometimes they wouldn't even let me play, but I forced my way onto the court because, you have to overcome those obstacles. Even when someone tells you no, don't take that no for an answer. Show them. So overcome those obstacles. And unless you're going to overcome those obstacles, and this is where the area where when I talk to young kids, and when a coach is going to yell at you, a coach is going to tell you that you're terrible, you will never play. They may abuse you almost like, verbally, but you have to process that okay, I'm going to use this as fuel. Okay, so unless you're ready to use criticism as fuel, okay, then it's going to be very difficult for you. So please, if you're serious about this, don't take it for a joke. Just be serious, and when you go for your workout, do your workout. When they tell you to do XYZ, do XYZ. There's a reason why you do drills, right? Because when you repeat those drills enough, it becomes second nature in games. I can shoot the ball with my eyes closed. It doesn't mean that I'm that fantastic, because I've been shooting so long. When you close your eyes, your mind still knows how far you got to push the ball. So that's what you got to do. You got to become a professional where it's like, a professional. If I miss, that's unusual. That's the difference between a professional and amateur. When you make it, you celebrate. Hey, but no, you practice it enough, you expect to make it. When Steph Curry shoots the ball, he expects it to go in.
Yeah, definitely. So we have some few questions, but that one will wait till the end. So maybe like right now, because there's also some people who are wondering, so there's the NBA which dominates majority of the basketball world, but there are other leagues, other places you can play. Like recently in the previous Olympic, they introduced street basketball. Like is it 3-on-3, right? Yeah. So like, what are your what are your views on how basketball is evolving, right? Where that things we used to play as kids, like 21 aside, 11 aside, are actually being celebrated, and people actually, as you said, earning money from those gigs.
Well, basketball is fantastic, whether it's street basketball or 3-on-3. I actually played a lot of 3-on-3 basketball here. Growing up in America, basketball dominates everything. Okay, I came to America when I was like 10 years old. So right from that moment, it was like my soccer ball was put in the closet because none of my friends played soccer, right? I take that back. They played soccer. Well, I played soccer for a couple of years, and then they lost interest because literally when they get to high school, everyone concentrates on basketball or American football. Okay, so I had to pick up a new game. So as you like coming back to what you were saying here, like there's a lot of different leagues. NBA is always going to be dominant because they have the best of the best of the best, right? Even the best from Europe is coming to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And there's a junior league that the NBA has, the development league, that also has a lot of great players. And it's a professional league. I actually played in that league the very first year that they brought it out. But like the resources wasn't quite there yet. So I made more money overseas. So I went back overseas. But it's a great league for someone that wants to get into the NBA. What you see now is a lot of the guys that, that will come from maybe like from Europe or elsewhere. They'll play 1 year in that league and then, be able to move on to the NBA if they're good enough. Right. And so there's a lot of various leagues around the world. The Basketball Africa League that we just, discussed is a very, very good one. The Euro League, is very, very good. Like, in fact, Barcelona, the kid that got drafted from the Facebook profile, he played for Barcelona this year. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, is that your profile, it may not necessarily take you directly to the NBA, but it will be a step. You could be 2-3 years away, depending on your age. The gentleman that I mentioned, James Naji, he was, he's 18 years old now, going on 19. And when he posted his profile, it was 2018. So like almost 5 years ago, right? So he was like 13, going on 14 years old at that time. So a 14-year-old, we're not expecting to go in the NBA, but they saw promise, and of course it helps that he's 6'11", very good size, So there's different leagues around the world that you can utilize to still achieve the same goal, but it kind of comes full circle. You need to start somewhere. You don't just show up at the league, right? So they need to see your body of work, what you've done, or what potentially you could do. And that's where the Worldwide Players Portal comes in, because we'll help you at least get your profile going and get your status intact.
So like another question, I'm curious, how does one, first of all, represent your country, right, as a basketball player? Do they draft you from outside, or do they draft you from inside? And how do you come from that, then you continue to become a captain? So maybe you can touch on that.
Yes. Well, to play for the Nigerian national team, me, myself, because I growing up here in America, I honestly didn't know a lot about Nigerian basketball until, when I was getting ready to leave school. I went to Montana State University. So when I left, I was contacted by a coach, where my parents were in Nigeria. And, the coach, knows my parents, Coach Pius. And, this gentleman, he wanted to, he knew that I was playing basketball in America. And he said that he wanted to connect me to the national team. Okay, great. My parents, we're with it. They gave my information to him. He passed it along to the national coach for Nigeria. At the time, he was Coach Ayo Bakari. Coach Ayo called me on the phone. We spoke. And to be honest with you, I wasn't quite sure about playing for Nigeria. At that time, I didn't even know where my Nigerian passport was. So he actually flew to California to meet with me. So he flew. I sent them my tape. Like, remember what I was telling you? I FedExed the tape to him. And after watching my tape, he got on a plane and flew down here. And basically said that, hey, that I want you on the national team. That I'm the kind of player that he wanted. So I was very, very fortunate, because it was God sent for me. Because at that time, and I don't want to expose myself here, but I'm kind of afraid of flying. At least I was at the time, right? So when I finished school, I had actually a workout. And I didn't want to fly. This is how much I didn't want to fly, right? I wanted to drive down there. And here in America, even though they have good roads, we were driving, my senior brother, I love my brother Charles, shouts out, my brother Charles, man, you gotta have people that's on your side. Like I said, like, people appreciate it when you help them. My brother, drove with me. It was like an 8-hour drive, or maybe actually more than that. To get to the place. And then on the way there, we got snowed in. This is America. I live in California. So I have nothing but sunshine. So when I start driving, it's sunshine. By the time I get to where I'm going, it's snow everywhere.
Mm.
and we're snowed in. I couldn't even get there. And I almost gave up on basketball. I said, this is ridiculous. How am I going to play basketball and I'm afraid to fly? And I was like, this is not going to work. Just then, I got the call from Nigeria with, national team coach and everything. And remember, I missed my workout for the professionals.
Mm.
So now I joined the Nigerian national team, and I show up, and there's Obinna Ekezir. I've been watching him on TV. Julius Nwosu, I've been watching him. He's in the NBA. Tunji Awojobi, all these Nigerian guys that I watch on ESPN. And I'm just like, wow, I'm going to get to play with these guys. But like any real basketball player, it doesn't matter who you're playing with. You just got to perform. And so the best way that I can try to prove who I am is to try to dunk on one of them. I'm 6 feet. If I dunk on one of these 7-footers, they're going to respect me. So there you have it. From that, after I showed up in camp, from that day on, I was a starting point guard for Nigerian national team. So, I love it.
And when during those days, the American team, the Dream Team, used to completely dominate the rest of the competition, like completely dominate. So, what was your take when Nigeria, like if I'm not wrong, in the previous Olympics, right? Nigeria beat the US team. So, what was your take evolution on African basketball from then till today?
Let me tell you, when we were going to the World Championship, we went to the World Championship in 1998. It was the first time that Nigeria had went to the World Championship, and no African country had won a game at that point. They usually go, I hate to say it, but it would be Angola was the only one representing us at the time. They'll go there and get beat by 30, 40 points, and they'll come home, right? But they were still the best team in Africa until like we went to the World Championship in 98, and we won, 2 games there. And to be honest with you, we would have beat Australia to advance, if we didn't have a couple of injuries, including myself. I actually got hurt in that game. And I like to say that if I didn't get hurt, we would have won that game because I already had 17 points. I was ready for it, and I was going up against Shane Hill. So I get excited talking about basketball. So
please do.
I get excited talking about basketball, y'all. So just bear with me. So Shane Hill is a fantastic player. He was an NBA, standout, right? And I'm not just going to say I dominated him because he had 22 points, But I played the rest of the game. Like I think the last 3 or 4 minutes after I left the game and got my ankle taped, so I couldn't even run again, But anyways, Australia is a fantastic team, but I just feel like we missed an opportunity right there. We would have advanced even further. But I'm very, very happy with our team. Playing for Africa has been the greatest joy of my life. I can't put it in words. Today, like Manu Ginobili, we played against Manu Ginobili in Argentina, and we gave them, we almost beat them, like that game was, it was over in the second half, probably like within a couple minutes left of that game. But it was a hard fought game throughout. Till today, like if Manu, I had dinner with him when he came out here last time, him and Tony Parker, and Ime Udoka, like we all had dinner. So I've built some great relationship with some people, that I just couldn't even imagine just because of basketball. And of course, you have to perform. If I didn't play well, they'll probably be like, "Hey, get away." So when you get the opportunity, please take advantage of it. You never know when the next one is coming. So that's why I when anyone that's ever watched me play, I'm the guy that I die for loose ball. I do everything that I can in the moment, right? Because to be honest with you, I was just lucky to be there. I'm always afraid they're gonna take me out and be like, he's never coming back in. So I'm trying to do everything I can, and that's what you got to do.
Now, like now for the final questions on the portal. So like most of this, when it comes to basketball and these sports, they're mostly male focused. So for you, if you find a female who's talented, is still the same process that goes, because the leagues are also as growing as much.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the schools that I'm dealing with now, they're heavily looking for girls. So the same process works. That whether it's a male or a female, if you can play, you want to play, then the opportunity is there. Sometimes I think the women are more fundamentally sound because they kind of train, a little bit more precise. Sometimes, the men, we get into the showboating and we want to do all the fancy stuff, right? But yeah. So and this is and that's what's the beautiful thing about teaching. Like, and when you're teaching and trying to show these people how to be better, when you have students that can pay attention and they're implementing what you're teaching, it makes it go a great way. So yes, both men and women have the same opportunities, and if you can, yeah, a lot of schools need a lot of female athletes. So please, if you can, if you're a girl that's looking to play, whether it's basketball, soccer, it could be tennis, right? So I don't want people to limit themselves to just, the sports that we all, know. If you're good at tennis, if you're good at, whatever it is, it could be badminton, whatever sport that you're good at, there's a lot of scholarship. There's scholarships that go unclaimed here. This is the crazy thing. They even have money, right? Money to give you, additional money. You'll be surprised how many scholarships and how much people don't claim every year. So, it could go to us internationals.
And I even forgot to ask you that question. So your platform is called World Players, not basketball players or soccer players. So you are targeting any athlete, right? Any sportsman is open, not necessarily basketball because you're a former basketballer, just any player, right?
That is correct. In fact, one of the we've actually received a lot of requests. I didn't know this until I started dealing with the portal, because originally I wanted to help basketball players, but I was flooded by American football. Apparently, us Africans are big and strong, right?
Yeah.
So the American football teams are clamoring over, the African kids as well. We have a Nigerian that just they placed on the Kansas City Chiefs. He won a championship with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's a Super Bowl champion, on top of making millions of dollars. Yeah. But, so, I mean, we have guys, I remember a guy that I played with, Emeka Okenwa, we called him Engine Knocker because the guy was so strong. When I looked at him, I was like, my goodness, if he played football, he could kill somebody.
If your body checks you, that's it.
Yeah. So we have so there's a lot of opportunity. So whether it's football, basketball, soccer, tennis, whatever sport, there's a lot of opportunities for
as you said, like hockey, there's even handball, badminton, just any and like there's actually a study there, I think actually worth billions of unclaimed scholarships in the United States alone, right?
That's
billions
correct.
every year they go to waste. So the scholarship opportunities are there. It's just that they can't get enough people. So you said, hey, let me find a funnel to get these people and connect them to the scholarships, right?
That's correct. Even it's not, and it's not that it goes unclaimed. There's monies, right? That additional monies that they give out. Let's say if you're a regular student and that you're not playing sport, okay, there's additional monies that's available for you. People don't even know this. So there's resources that's available here that go unclaimed every year. And one of the things that as Africans is that we try to help other people get information and educate them on some of the opportunities that is available here. So that's why this platform is so important, and that's why I made sure that it's totally free. I don't know if I told everyone this. It's totally free. Totally free. Everything completely free. Okay. So the scholarship information, the visa information, the training, the tutelage, everything is free. That's one of the reasons that we want sponsors, and we want people that if they can contribute, that's great. Right now, I'm bearing all the costs myself because I want to do what I can to help. Okay, but it would be great if I can have additional resources. That way, we can do even more. I want to be able to take this. I want to go to 10 countries next year instead of 5. to do camps and offer these scholarship opportunities. So so whatever you guys can do, anyone can do, it will be greatly appreciated. But the platform is there.
So before we wrap up, let's just go through some questions. But there's a trend that's going on in the chat, right? Everybody seems to be obsessed with your time in the Harlem Globetrotters. So maybe to answer all the questions, maybe first of all, even for me, I'm curious, how does one go like, hey, you know what? I'm so good than the rest of everybody. I deserve to be in this team because like those guys are legendary, right? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
like I remember them doing like crazy tricks, going up and down the courts, dunking, as you said, dunking on professional NBA players, right? Right? Like completely jumping them over. So maybe you are like, how good must you be to be a Harlem Globetrotter, and how do you even know how to do those things, right? Because it's not in your normal
Yeah.
practice routine, right? So maybe that's why people are so curious about that.
Well, I love telling stories, so you want it, you got it. The Harlem Globetrotters is like next to the Nigerian national team is the most awesome team that you can play on, right? And the only thing that's better about the Globetrotters is because they never lose. We never lost a game. And the whole time I played, we did, because we win every game, right? So, but the thing about it is that we practice these tricks, when I was with the Globetrotters, you literally walk around and you spinning the ball, like whether you're in a hotel room, like you practicing, something, right? Or maybe they'll add a new wrinkle to the show, right? And then we have to practice those things. The half court shot that you see, making, oh, it's for real, and because we'll sit there and practice half court shots and then shooting that hook shot like the showman. And I do want to, I'm glad that you guys said something about this as well. I want to acknowledge, Paul Gaffney. He is one of in fact, Gaffney Athletic Preparatory Academy, the showman for the Harlem Globetrotters. His name, Paul Gaffney. He was a showman I believe maybe 15, 20 years. So he was the main centerpiece of the show. He's actually one of the people helping with this platform. He has an academy, and he's one of the people offering scholarships. So if you've seen him before shooting a half court shot, he was the one making that half court shot, So so it's very, very interesting. But the Globetrotters is a wonderful, wonderful organization. And when we show up, kids, oh my goodness, like I have kids now, right? And I take them to the show when they come to town. You see the way kids light up. It's like the same show you see for the first time. And we high-fiving them and giving them our stuff. If my son ran in here right now, I'll take the ball and I'll spin it for you, just because I still have a Globetrotter ball. Because I love it. Basketball is just like when you enjoy what you do, it's the best joy. It's the best thing in the world.
How does one get recruited in like even to be a Globetrotter?
All right, now my agent, I was playing professional basketball overseas, and I came home here to California, and it just so happened that the Globetrotters were going to be performing that weekend. My agent called me and he said, "Hey, the Globetrotters are in your city, and they're looking for professional basketball players to practice against, okay? Because they wanted to get a real good workout." He said that, "Would you be available?" I said, "Oh yeah," and they, they were paying us and giving us tickets, so I thought it was a great opportunity. So when I went there, it was just to go, have a pickup game and hang out. Well, I walked into the gym, and that's when they were picking teams because they were getting ready to play a pickup game. And when I walked in, I heard someone say, "I got Kingsley." I'm like, I didn't even know where the voice was coming from, but it was one of the guys that I played against him somewhere, and he wanted me on his team because they were just picking teams right there. And so me and him got on the team, and we started playing. And I used to jump really high. Okay, I used to do an advertisement for jump soles. If you ever seen those strength shoes, I was the person in the air with my legs out like this, in all the Slam magazines. So one of the trademark things that I would do is because I can dribble the ball really good, and I would dribble And once I get you kind of hesitating, I throw the ball off the backboard, right? And then I go up there and get it and dunk on you, right? So once I did that, once I do that, it usually, everybody goes crazy because I'm 6 feet, jumping like crazy. Plus, I can dribble the ball, doing all of this stuff. And they used to call me Baby Jordan. So, uh, so he was like, we got to have you. And the owner of the Globetrotters at the time, his name was Manny Jackson. He was there that day, and he wouldn't let me leave. He said, I need you to, come with us. We have another show like this weekend in Sacramento. You can perform with us. So that's literally how I was like, well, I'll do it this weekend. And I played with the Generals that weekend. So the opposing team, I played with them. But I did such a good job. They offered me a contract and flew me to the East Coast to join the other team. So my agent was like, you was just supposed to go work out. You're not supposed to go get a job. Because he actually didn't want me to doing it because, the Globetrotters is show basketball, right? So and I'm in the midst of, I think I had just left the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks brought me in for a workout, so either I just left the Mavericks or Golden State Warriors, one of those two teams I was working out with. And so it was like he wanted me to get back into the NBA circle. But, I do what I like because I like having fun. And just an opportunity to do the Globetrotters. Like you're asking me about the Globetrotters now. We never mentioned Golden State. We never mentioned we never mentioned Cleveland Cavaliers. These are all people that brought me in. They so but the Globetrotters, everybody around the world knows the Globetrotters. So that's why I was so happy that I got that opportunity. And believe me, it's the best job that you can have. And you never lose.
And arguably, I think even the Globetrotters, they're more inspiring to aspiring basketballers because, professional, like NBA, it's too, cutthroat, it's all about winning. But, when you see somebody having fun, you're like, hey, you know what? I want to play this fun sport, right? And I'm sure it's inspired more upcoming basketballers than the serious NBA where it's all about win, right?
Man, one of the things that I've never realized that before, like you feel so relaxed and so enjoy. I mean, it was like, oh my goodness, like, and then in between the game, during the game, we'll get up the whole audience. Everybody gets up and dance. YMCA, everybody's dancing. It's like, oh my goodness, like it's like a party. So. It was the best experience, and like I said, you gotta love kids, right? Like seeing like their faces. I mean, they crying. They like oh my God, it's great. It's great.
So, thank you for joining us. Before we wrap up, I'd like to take the opportunity just to recap on the World Players portal. Just tell people just a quick summary what it is, how to join, and how to reach you. Just take the time to let me show the site so that they don't forget.
Well, Worldwide Players Portal is a cutting edge platform. Basically, we connect athletes with opportunities, and this is the opportunities in the world of sports. The platform serves as a bridge, basically. Between schools, professional teams, and it also it enables other people to be able to discover and connect with athletes, right? So the Worldwide Players Portal, what we're doing is it's a comprehensive range of services that we actually offer. So we offer resources and scholarships, getting visas, where we offer training information. So we have people that have done it, coaches, players, scouts, agents, everyone all pulled together, everyone in the sports community that you need to be successful, pulled together in one platform to help you. And, everyone is now learning about name, image, and likeness. This is something that's going to be very, very huge. And you have kids now making $4 or $5 million in high school before they even become professional. So this is something that we want all our people to take advantage of it. because whether you're playing, high school, college, or you're playing in your local league, whether you're in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Senegal, it doesn't matter. Like your name, your image, and your likeness can still get you paid, right? It can sometimes make you more money than the professionals. So we have to make sure that we take advantage of all the resources, because sometimes if you don't know it's there, you can't take advantage of it.
True, true. So you can tell people where they can reach you right now. We, of course, will put Kingsley's email contact in the address and the link to the portal. So maybe you can just tell them the email.
Yeah, my email address is K Ogwudire. It's a KOGWUD as in David, I as in India, R as in Romeo, E as in Edward, at gmail.com. Okay, so that's KOGWUDIRE at gmail.com. Please, send me a message. Reach out to me, and of course, go to a Worldwide Players Portal and check us out and create a profile and get started, please.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just putting it in the chat so they can actually see. Thank you so much for giving us your very precious 1 hour to talk to us. We always appreciate, because think about it. Somebody has a long day, they take 1 hour and they dedicate the time to listen to you talk. And like we always appreciate you guys in the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, Kingsley. And please make sure to share this stream after you finish watching. Share, like, share, and subscribe. We always appreciate you guys. And this has been the Africa is Watching podcast. And always remember, Africa is watching.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I really appreciate your platform and everything that you're doing. I think you're doing a very fantastic job, bringing awareness to Africa and all the content. So thank you very much.
We appreciate that.